People joining us over Zoom, please use the raise the hand function to ask a question. But we'll begin with the gentleman here in Abu Dhabi first.
Hi, how are you?
Good?
Good. Sorry we're a little bit late.
It's all right.
Hey, Rex.
Just wondering, you've got the opposition. Just wondering about the opposition for tomorrow, Ireland. How much do you guys know about the Irish team, and how important is that for you to win and qualify for the next round?
Yeah, look, it's really important. We felt we played really well last night. We started to get a little bit of momentum, which is good. We started to get a settled combination, which I think is key. We've studied Ireland. We've had a lot of video footage. As I speak, our bowlers are going through that footage at the moment. I'm going through their planning sessions. So, we're in a good space. We've prepared properly.
Traditionally, spin has been Sri Lanka's strength, but for yesterday's game, you guys seem to be relying heavily on your seamers. Did quite a bit of a good job as well. If you can just talk through, what's Dushman Chamir, Lairu Kumar, and Chami Karunaratne bringing into the side?
They've brought a lot, and I think yes, we have. We're very lucky. We've got two very good mystery spinners, if you like, and a couple of very good spinners that aren't playing at the moment. But for us to have two bowlers of genuine quality bowling at 145 k's an hour, that makes a massive difference. We know that any team doesn't like facing them. They're genuine wicket takers. Their skills have got better and better over the last 5 months. So we're really comfortable having them attack for us. Dushman Chamira has, I feel, gone to another level. He really has. He's now genuinely world class. So for us to have those bowlers in our bowling lineup gives us a real good balance of pace. Chamika brings a little bit of swing, and then we've got our two wrist spinners. It's almost the ideal bowling attack, if you like.
Mickey, following up on that same question, how much do you think dew will play a factor, considering that the pitchers will give some assistance to the seamers with the conditions, and how much will it affect Sri Lanka's chances of bowling first in most of the games?
Yeah, look, it does come into the equation. Certainly, when we discuss our strategy before the game, we came out the night before and just checked the amount of dew. And there was a fair amount. Look, I don't think it's impossible to bowl if we have to bowl second, and we've prepared that way with our bowlers, with wet balls, etc. So we'll be prepared and we'll be ready. But I think it might play a little bit of factor. It just, once the wicket cools down and it just gets a little bit of moisture on it, it just tends to come on a little bit nicer as well.
Top three, a massive concern from the last few games with the Oman games and the warm-up games. They've not fired at all.
Yeah, that's our. I'm pretty confident with Kusal Janeth back at the top of the order now. That just gives us that attacking option. Kusal Janeth is a world-class player, so to have him back there gives us a lot more solidarity, if you like. So I'm comfortable that he's going to fire for us pretty soon. Pathum Nissanka, he's work in progress. I've said for numerous times that he is the one young Sri Lankan batsman in my time in Sri Lanka that I think is going to go on and genuinely become a world-class player for Sri Lanka. So we'll keep going with Pathum because we're investing in him going forward. And then that number 3 position has been an Achilles heel for us ever since we lost Danushka Kushal Mendes and Nirishant Diguela. We've battled to find the right balance in our top 5. I'm comfortable we've got that balance. If we can just get that number 3 position shelved down, we'll be good. And Dinesh Chandimal has it at the moment. Hopefully he gives us a performance at some stage. We've got young Charith Asalanka, who I think is another young player that's going to play a lot for Sri Lanka. I'm just waiting in the wings. So I'm just waiting for somebody to grab that position and make it their own.
Mickey, you took a few people by surprise by having Avishka at number 4. Could you just tell us as to what was the thinking behind having him at number 4? And is that something that you're looking at long term in the white ball format?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it at the last press conference. We did a brainstorming session as coaches. Mahela was with us at the time. We looked at stats. We looked at our batting order. We thought, how do we make it stronger? How do we balance the power? Thinking that we were going to get Kusal Janath back as well at the top of the order, and we looked at what fitted, and it kind of fitted in our opinion with Avishka at 4. Because, strike rates tell us that he plays a lot of dot balls early on in his innings. And that's because the field's up. So him coming back with the field spread out has given him a little bit more chance to get himself in. And then from there, he's almost unstoppable. So once he gets past 15 balls, he becomes a serious player strike rate-wise. So we just thought that was quite a good fit. I think he'll still open for us in ODI cricket, without a doubt, but we think we found a really good position for him now in 2020 cricket, and he's been superb in that position of late.
Mickey, are we expecting any changes in the top 3 tomorrow?
No, we've got a settled combination at the moment, and we'll go with that settled combination tomorrow.
Mickey, given the experience Dinesh Chandimal has had in international cricket, where do you think he has gone wrong? Why is he struggling in the format?
Yeah, look, I think, he's... Look, to be brutally honest, Dinesh, Charith Asalanka, Kamindu Mendes, those type of guys got real opportunities because Patam to a point because of our 3 players that got banned. Chandy is a very, very good player, and contrary to a lot of the stuff I'm reading about him, he is a fine batsman. He's just short of a little confidence at the moment, but I'm comfortable that he will regain that. And when he does, he played an innings in the practice game before we came over here. We had 3 practice games in our camp. He faced a really good attack. Dushmanta Chamira wasn't there, but he had Banura, he had Chamika, he had Akila, and Mahesh bowling against him. And he got an 84 of 48 balls and really played very, very well. That all led to us, because we selected Chandy in the squad as the reserve keeper. We needed to have 2 keepers in our 15, and we thought he fitted the bill with that. There was a bit of experience. Our second keeper, he was the desirable player for that position. But when we watched him bat there, he batted superbly. He hit proper cricket shots, and he hit them well. He hit them hard. He cleared the boundary straight a lot of times. So if we can recreate that confidence for him coming into World Cup games, we feel we've got to win, because I think you mentioned the word earlier when you asked the question, experience. We haven't got a particularly experienced top 5. So for him, the thing that gets him in there is his experience. And that's what lent us to going with him in game 1. Now, we'll give Chandy another run, without a doubt. We know that Charith Asalanka's there waiting for his opportunity as well. And one thing we've done over the last year is develop some bench strength in all positions. So, I'm comfortable that we're getting there. I'm comfortable Chandy is 1 innings away from showing us potentially what he can do.
Mickey, we saw him, you all are trying him out as an opener during the Indian series. What sort of a role you all have given him at number 3?
Yeah, well look, he opened, and opening, to be fair, is probably his best position, but he was under no illusions that when Kusal Janath Pereira came back, that was KJP's position, and and that got him the games in the South African series, was the fact that KJP was injured. So he was under no illusions to that. We kind of like that balance with Kusal Janeth going fairly hard. It allows Patum to play his game the Patum way, and I was disappointed with how he got out last night. We had a chat about that today. We want to see Patum hitting straight down the ground, because when he hits straight down the ground, that's when he plays his best. And then Chandy is in that position with experience to kind of continue the work that either Kusal Janeth or Patum's done. You know, the last thing we wanted was to have two inexperienced players, Kusal Janeth getting out early, and then having two inexperienced players batting in the power play overs. That was the last thing we wanted. So that's what got Chandy the go. And we back Dinesh Chandimal. I back him as a batsman. I back him as a player. So I'm just hoping that tomorrow he gives us what we know he can give us, or what I saw from him in that practice game.
Mickey, you have put in a lot of effort in the last 4 months, the lead up to this tournament, but you've been very unfortunate with the injuries and all the suspensions and stuff like that.
And boys going walkabout.
And I'd like to ask, a lot of people don't seem to be rating the Sri Lankan side so much. Have you got any message for them?
Look, all I can say is that I see these boys train, I see these boys work, I see these boys put the efforts in behind the scenes. We're as professional an outfit as anybody here in the competition. I thought our bowling performance last night was exceptional. Our bowling performance last night was as good as any bowling unit in this competition. I think our fielding standards have gone to another level, without a doubt. If we can just get our batting firing, we're going to be very dangerous.
Questions over Zoom? No. That's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you very much.